So we're finally doing this. It's Roe Knows Best podcast. Right now we have TJ Rowe and Dad Rowe. My name's Todd. And we're just here to do a little bullshitting, maybe cover some topics. Um, by no means are we experts, but we like to think we are. Ask us if you think we're wrong. We'll tell you we're not. But TJ, what do you think about us doing this podcast? What do you see coming out of it?
I think it's cool. I had just seen what was it, a week ago, or I was back this weekend talking about how this guy did a podcast with his dad and how he thought it was really cool, and whether this blows up or not, that's not my
Yeah,
intention in doing
yeah.
this and everything. But I think
We'll
there's
tell
some
some
cool things out of it and everything. Whether it goes, doesn't go viral, does go viral.
right.
It'd just be good to
No,
sit down and have
you know,
conversation.
viral's a bonus, but it's the time spent together. When we get together, we like to bullshit anyway, get to laughing, telling stupid jokes. Things get a little spicy every now and then. Probably need to watch our P's and Q's, but I did mark the explicit on our profile, so we're not holding back. Um, I don't want to get cancel cultured for this, but at the same time, I'm not going to be any different than I normally am. I'm going to say what I think. Uh, Quick background on me. I spent my whole life in construction. TJ knows all about that. All my boys really do. I'm kind of a matter of fact person. I have my opinions. Uh, I like to joke around. I like to make fun of myself. Between construction and engineering, I really don't know anything else. I seem to know a lot about a little and a little about a lot. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. TJ, why don't you tell them a little about you?
Kind of piggybacking off. I am a exercise science person. I'm about as handy as a butter knife. I can't fix a whole lot. I grew up with a dad that can
That's
fix
my
about
boy.
anything, and I do not possess those traits. Kind of where my niche is, I would say, is anything exercise, fitness, wellness, health related. I seem to think I know a lot, but I probably don't know a whole bunch. Um, yeah, that's kind of my background with that. So I'll
Yeah.
let you keep going.
So no, we used to like to talk sports. You used to be a huge sports guy, and we kind of talked earlier that we thought that would be one of our topics, but you kind of nipped it in the butt right away. You know, would you say like your focus is mostly on health now more than it is about being a college athlete or a professional athlete like you once thought in high school? So don't you agree? So since your interest shifted, we like talking about everything from a little bit of political stuff, some of the crazy woke crap that's going on to, our view on even Israel and the Iraq war. If, I'm not saying we're going to dig into that, TJ, but,
Yeah.
if it comes up and it's what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
I don't have
100%.
any challenges there with that. I want this to, be something that people feel like they can relate to. So that's going to be our main goal.
Yeah.
My objective, and we'll start right off with it, is to, discuss maybe a current event that interests us both, see what's coming down the line. And right now, AI and the fact that it might be taking over. Hell, it printed the outline that I studied for this, and stuff like that. And what do you see at the collegiate level, your current job, students doing and stuff like that? Do you see it being an issue? Do you, as someone that's taught some classes at that level, I mean, what's your take?
So I think AI is a tool that will make the average person dumber. I'm going to start out with hot. I'm going to get the stove preheated with that. Um, why I say that? I mean, again, like you said, I mean, this outline was built by AI.
Right.
I think in the right hands, it's a tool,
Yep.
but in the wrong hands, it's an easy way out.
I mean,
Scapegoat.
let's be honest, AI, like anything else, eventually will be used for porn.
It already is used for porn.
I mean, the
Yeah.
whole thing when I
There's
was
a
little, it was the internet's going to take over. No one's going to have jobs. The internet's going to
yeah,
do it. And now it's just a porn portal for most people
yeah,
and a way to connect offices. So,
yeah,
you know, AI will be
no,
there'll be a huge industry in porn.
yeah.
So that's
But
probably what
like
it's going to be.
with like what you were saying though, like seeing, so when you asked just the basic question of where do you see it going as far as like at the collegiate level, I have 2 point of views. The first one was answered academically. I think athletically, I don't necessarily know what level of impact that'll have on. I think as far as the tools, whether you're a sport coach, strength coach, I think it only amplifies, but the statement's still true that in the wrong hands it can still make you dumber and all that stuff. I think
Well, and
athletically it's
I
not.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree because even the way I use it, you know, if you don't question it and you take what it spits out as face value, you can come across as a complete idiot because it's going to give you the first thing it finds on the Google. You know, it's a and if you don't question it or say, "No, I don't really agree with that," or "I thought it was more like this," you can't. You got to fine tune it down. What's your thought on these AI certificates that the it's all over TikTok and crap like that? Do you see any value in that
mm-mm.
shit?
I guess I haven't even seen. Is it like a certified
Yeah,
you can use it,
it's
program
these
it, or what?
companies. Yeah, it's these companies coming. We're going to teach you 35 AI tools to make you a master, and you get this certificate saying you're AI certified, and how that'll be the new job in the future. If you don't come across as AI certified, you're in trouble.
I think being AI certified is like being the smartest kindergartner. It's just I don't, at that level I don't think it's going to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's, if that's, I guess I haven't seen it, so again I'm speaking like this is a new topic right now to me. I think it's a money grab. They're like, "Oh, hey, we have this, it's new,
Yeah.
and, people are still figuring it out." I mean, we still are. There's kids my age that use and abuse AI. There's people my age that have never even touched it. And I imagine, I mean, I can't speak on the second I was born, right? The internet, technology, all that stuff. I guess
Hmm.
I remember the first smartphone. I remember flip phones were like, around when I was younger. But
Yeah. I remember the rotary phone, man.
yeah, but like I bet there was the same thing back when internet was a big thing. They were like, "Oh, I'm not saying, obviously social media wasn't like now. You weren't seeing ads become internet certified, but I guarantee you there
Right.
was still the push of, in this course we're going to teach you how to be savvy on the computer.
You
Savvy.
know, they say that like Google's let go of like 20% of its coding people already, and that if you're a coder, that's the kind of jobs, back when the calculator came out, I'm sure people thought, my God, yeah, I'm not going to have a job anymore.
Yeah.
Mathematicians and stuff like that were
Mm-hmm.
hired by accounting firms thought, I don't have a place anymore. Human calculators, but people adapt and time and adjust. There's only certain things, like in engineering, can AI do mathematics way faster than I could? Yes, it can. Can a calculator do it way faster than I can? Yes, it can, but there's no accountability with AI. There's no one putting their nuts on the line,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, this is I've looked this over." AI just is what it is. It's information in an avenue that we've never experienced. So,
Yeah.
AI soldiers, drones. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. There's always the extreme side of it, but the way they're fighting wars now with AI, good on them. People don't have to die for wars now. That's
No.
great. That's what technology's for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they came out with the oven, they didn't fire the person that built, you know, the fire in the stone hearth. They showed her
Yeah.
how to use the oven,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't really see that being an issue down the line
Yeah.
and
No,
stuff like that.
I think you can't. Humans will never, even though AI is right. You said it's faster. It's this. The best AI software wouldn't hold a candle to the human brain. It just can't. I mean, for instance,
Right.
like why I talk about that, like I don't know, and these numbers are going to be fabricated, but our eyes, let's say they see at 30 frames per second. That's what they can see at. In order to process reality in real time and be conscious in the world, you need to be able to process it like 240 frames per second or something like that. So there's a disconnect from what physiologically, right, structure wise, software and everything that we
Hmm.
run at, and then how we operate, right? This, what we're doing right now, this is happening smooth, everything. That's because of our brain doing all the
Right.
behind the smooth over the image and everything. And at the same time, I'm talking, right? My brain's firing and all this stuff, and I'm spurting out words. You're also on the other end processing, reading it in, and then you're figuring out a response. It's just, as far as if I asked you how many pancakes are in the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, yeah, AI is going to stomp us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a crazy output machine. But what
Yeah.
it still is not, it does not hold a candle to what the human brain can do. And as far as, yeah, I mean, if I was a guy, I mean, it's the same thing when they made, you know, if you were working at a factory and you were putting the lids on the conveyor belt, the second a robot came out, like you said, you shit bricks and
Yeah.
everything, you know.
You're
If
done.
you're
Yeah.
doing things like Excel, or you're doing things with a lot of numbers or mass amounts of things, and AI can bang it out in 10 seconds, you're shitting
Yeah.
bricks right now. But
Yeah.
it's
But the
just,
thing is, your job adjusts.
yeah,
It turns some. I used to have to enter all that data. Now I have to interpret it. You know,
yeah,
the
mm-hmm.
guy putting the lid on. You know, there's certain things. Labor force. When I say labor force, the physical labor force will never change. You know, all this information on all this advancement on uh, transportation. Everything you touch, if you think about it, everything you touch has been in the back of a tractor trailer at some point. Every single thing, either apart from it, and they want to drop fuel. They want to make a greener, better tomorrow. Look at all the semis going up and down the road. Technology only can go so far until you get down. What's that term you use? Where the something about the wheat,
But
but
you separate the wheat from the chaff.
yeah, right. When you get down to that point, it takes a labor force to make it happen. And, you know, you have to have jobs for consumables. Otherwise, everything dies. So I think AI will be a big thing, but just like anything, any other technology that we've experienced, look at the computer. You know, computers are taking over, robots are taking over. Well, I've eaten at McDonald's, other than a kiosk,
Mm-hmm.
it really hasn't taken over the automation of cooking up my hamburger, you know.
Yeah,
So
but then if you look at like, I mean, now, right? You said that, you know, if you think about this, the computer's taking over. Imagine doing your job without one right now, you know, and everything like
yeah, it sucks. I don't know if I could.
because
Yeah.
of, you know, what if you want to say evolve or evolve, you know, everything, all that stuff. Imagine doing those jobs. I mean, I think I'm not that far
No,
removed from college,
I
right? I'm
get
a
it.
year away. If I had to go to the library and read an encyclopedia, I'd dropped out.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Those that's next level smart. You
yeah, you
know,
know,
those
like
guys that
it's,
can regurgitate that
mm-hmm,
shit.
yeah,
So, but no, I think we beat that horse to death. But you know, it's kind of interesting when people shout that AI is taking over. You know, there's some pretty funny comedians that have some pretty. If you go out on TikTok or YouTube, that have some opinions on that. But we don't have to get into. That's their entertainment. But now moving right along, the kind of the last segment or the first episode is I want to at the end of every segment. I thought it'd be fun. You know, you're about to get married. I've been married twice, so if you add them both up, I'm looking at about 26 years of experience.
yeah,
You know,
40
I
with
thought we could
overtime.
give a little relationship advice. I don't know what you thought. Do you have any good ideas or any good advice for tonight?
Um, pick your pick your battles to win the war.
Pick
That's
your
what I'm gonna
battles
go.
to win the war.
And what I mean by that, okay, and I have a loving fiance and everything, you know, and there's
Yep.
times where I believe I'm right or she believes she's right and everything, you know. But I think sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war,
Right.
you
Even
know.
if they're blatantly wrong.
Yeah, or even if I'm blatantly wrong, you know, it's like wow. It's like, you know what? Could I
Well, all
could
right.
I spend,
So
yeah.
I think you're onto something here, but in my experience, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm pretty quick to say, you know, now I think about that, I'm pretty wrong. After I've blown the situation up, I'm usually the
Yeah.
first one to
Yeah.
apologize.
After I've
But
overreacted, I'm
yeah,
good.
after I've completely made an ass out of myself,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
beg for forgiveness.
Yeah.
But you know, you piss off a woman, we're looking at
Jail time.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at, oh, they're fine now, but that shit's
Hmm.
coming back on you, you
Yeah.
know.
That's gonna be
And
ammo that they're gonna
you know,
use.
it's you know, pick your battles. You know that there's times, you know, in my experience where I get asked my opinion, and it literally I want to go, why don't you just tell me what we're gonna do?
Hmm.
Because I don't know why I'm offering,
Yeah.
you know, this
Hmm.
nugget
Yeah.
when in the end we're gonna do what you want to do
Hmm.
anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll get it back. I'll get it back that that's not true. That's not true. But I mean, it's like we need to carry a little recorder around with us,
Hmm.
and we'd probably find ourselves being wrong too. But
Yeah.
you know, um,
Well,
so your
this is
advice is pick your battles, bro.
Yeah, pick your battles to win the war. But I will say this: Ash and I were talking about this 2 nights ago. We were sitting in bed when she got back from Arizona, and I was like, I don't. This is gonna come off bad, but I don't think it actually is. I think you care about things that I don't even think about, and I'm talking
Yeah,
about what's our comforter color.
zero fucks.
I don't
Yeah,
care. Is
yeah,
it keep me warm in the winter, and is it not too heavy in the summer? I'm pretty cool with that and everything.
yeah,
Or how does this look and everything? I would never think about it, but subconsciously I know I'm grateful for it and everything. And I think I care about things, or I act in a way that like almost as like a guidance or like a mentor. And like we
hmm
don't have to get into semantics and everything, but you kind of know what we were talking about earlier today and everything.
Well, I think not to get involved with or men or women separate. There's man and woman, but there's also the way we are. Nurture versus nature. Women care about things that we just don't, and it's. I always lean on the fact that it's when I say this, it sounds terrible, but by nature, men are very selfish. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. We care about what's in front of our space. Every man that's listening to this or that will ever listen to this knows that when I say I'm not thinking about anything, chances I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
anything.
Or not
You know?
anything of great material. It's just like
Yeah,
I'm looking off into space, and it could be 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, and I'm like,
yeah,
I think I figured out the swing for my driver.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. I was all like, I think we do have some extra lunch meat in the fridge
Yeah,
that I'm gonna go eat here in a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. That's waiting for
What do
me when I
you
get
know,
home.
and women are like, I need to buy more lunch meat. I need to buy bread. Oh, they like this, they like that, and know what's that. I think ADHD was invented by women. You know, they, they can't they
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
land on one thing. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
squirrel.
But
But
no, I think yeah, it's. I don't know. I feel like we've moved a little bit past like the cancel stuff and everything, and all, and like
yeah,
we all want to walk on eggshells. We talk about it, but I mean, truthfully, and I don't. It's not even just hetero and homosexual stuff and all that. Like roles come. I mean, there's multiple combinations. Whether this person kind of leads the way and this person's just a follower, leader and
right,
follower. Or then
right.
two leaders can go together. I mean, that's an explosive relationship. I'm probably gonna grab the popcorn, and
Yeah,
everything. And
I
it's the
saw
same.
I saw this video. It's a whole bunch of them. It's brilliant, and I should be able to cite him, but I can't. But he walks up to these girls and says, "Hey," he's all like, "I got a quick question. If you don't have a minute, if I wasn't gay, would you date me, or would you go out on a
Mhm.
date with me?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'd go out on a date." He's like, "I'm not gay," and every single one
Yeah.
of those girls are
Uh
like,
huh.
he's like, "Can I have your numbers?" They're like, "Yeah." And he shows a picture. I was like,
Hmm.
how brilliant is that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know that
No.
was way off in right field, but
Yeah.
uh, no, I think for our first little, almost hit 20 minutes, I'm pretty happy with this, and I don't want it ever to seem forced, and I'll we're gonna post this every Wednesday. You and I will try to record something, keep it in that 30-minute window for now, and once we have 1 million followers, we'll do it naked.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 or 100K subs. We'll do it topless.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no, I
yeah.
also like the format of just one topic. That way, because I mean, I think you and I are going to
hmm
naturally deviate from the path enough.
Yeah,
I mean, we asked about marriage advice and we got to roles in a relationship and how to
yeah,
successfully work in it.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean,
but like
we
keeping and
don't.
then like I think my thing is like maybe episodes extend as if this gets any traction. But I kind of like this is something you could put on if over lunch you're like I'm kind of musiced out. Let's
Yeah,
just hear what two average Joes
these
have
two
to say.
dipshits have to say.
Yeah, yeah.
No, well, I've only used two Zens, so that's not a bad deal. Velo
Mm-hmm.
man, sponsored
Sponsor
today
us.
by Zen.
Yeah, sponsored by Velo and Zen.
Yeah, but nope. I really had fun with you, buddy, and like always, this is a great time, and I love you.
Love you too, Dad. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, bye.
Bye.